What you're listening to is a 1996 performance of the Balinese dance piece known as Taruna Jaya, a part of the music style known as Gamelan. Gamelan is a form of Indonesian music comprised of various metal idiophones or metallophones with bronze gongs and keyed instruments which are struck with a variety of mallets. These instruments are tuned to each other within each composition, where these similar frequencies deliver the genre its unique metallic sound. However, the soundscapes of Indonesian gamelan differ amidst the Java Sea. From Jakarta to Bali, the collective pitch, cadence, and complexity of gamelan can lead to the creation of some unforgettable and culturally specific instantiations of the art form. I am speaking of the infamous performance known as Topeng Monyet, or Masked Monkey. This controversial street attraction is accompanied by smaller gamelan groupings that are meant to provide background music for the animals. Whether it be riding miniature motorcycles across the streets of East Java or conducting circus acts at children's birthday parties, Topeng Monyet exists within an entanglement of political controversy and multimedia exposure, which has ironically increased the audience of this performance in ways that would be impossible otherwise. However, before this relationship can be fully explained, we must return to the integral effort of this video essay, which is to reach a form of native understanding on this subgenre of gamelan found on the busy streets of Jakarta and beyond. Here are some examples of what can be found within Topeng Monyet. The keyed instrument that resembles a xylophone is a type of gangsa, which has been stripped down to its higher pitches due to its small size, putting its keys into the classification of kantilan and pumade. These are the highest and second highest octaves of the keys found within the gangsa family, which explains the delicate sound of Topeng Monyet's music, as well as the smaller mallets that are used. We also can't forget about the bass drum, which is an integral part to the rhythm of the pseudo-gamelan, even though it's the only other component. These two instruments can even be played by a single musician. According to K. Kaufman Chalamet's textbook on ethnomusicology, soundscapes, gongs and instruments of the xylophone type, made of bronze, dominate the ensemble's sound within gamelan. This is where Topeng Monyet's association with traditional Balinese gamelan begins, since its melodic components rely on the same instruments with similar technique and rhythm, albeit on a much smaller scale. However, to fully contextualize this much smaller and public form of gamelan, we must compare it to another, less traditional composition known as Kembang Pengkak. Kembang Pengkak was created by Balinese composer Windha, which he credits to possess traditional and creative elements. These characteristics will mirror the atypical nature found within Topeng Monyet. Let's listen. Kembang Pengkak refers to an Indonesian martial art called Pengkak, and the word kembang, which translates to blooming. This alludes to the combination of the Pengkak movements that assist with the sometimes dizzying speed of the tempo and uncommon use of sticks to hit cymbals rather than crashing them like normal. As seen with the Topeng Monyet street attractions, the musicians are forced to innovate, which results in the use of what appears to be modified gangsas and DIY mallets, which reflect the innovation found within Kembang Pangkak's usage of sticks and martial arts. This combination of tradition and innovation can be heard within the two gamelan, through the disorienting speed changes of Kembang Pangkak's finale and the energetic patterns of Topeng Monyet's metallophones. Focusing more on the music itself, the texture at play is polyphonic. Polyphony means that these multiple instruments are equally prominent, which is an integral part of the gamelan experience. That way, no hierarchy can be detected within the music, where these simultaneous streams of metallic noise are equally distinguishable as they are indicative of the same pitch. The blooming cadence of Kembang Pangkak is similar to the repetitive gangsas seen within Topeng Monyet, but with a more melodic presence due to the obvious limitations of the street performers. Therefore, if we ignore the presence of the male chorus within Winta's composition, then the gamelan that is left would make a fitting substitute to the music of Topeng Monyet. Now that the music has been clarified, we must rationalize why such a ridiculous animal performance is presented alongside gamelan in the first place. This can be done through a quick dive into the music schools of 1960s Bali. Referring back to the Soundscapes textbook, it is stated that the settings for the transmission of gamelan were altered. Two government-sponsored schools for music, dance, shadow puppetry, and visual arts were established in Bali. These schools were credited in possessing gamelan masters and diverse groupings of Balinese musicians who studied abroad to prolong this knowledge. This is relevant to the Java-based evolution of Topeng Monyet because, again, these institutions served to perpetuate a variety of local styles and became sites for innovative composition and choreography, where a coherent style did not emerge. Rather, the music continues to be multidimensional and embodies the contradictions, continuities, and inconsistencies of 1960s Bali. Therefore, this experimental marriage between entertainment and gamelan was ingrained into the Indonesian culture and laid the foundation for compositions like Winta's Kembang Pangkak, who attended these very schools. Also, the usage of performative monkeys within Topeng Monyet personifies the shadow puppetry of the Balinese tradition to meet the entertainment needs of the urban world. The variety of dance, visuals, and experimentation within these schools had set the stage in the 20th century for what music, or gamelan to be specific, could evolve into, which may explain the way Topeng Monyet has risen to such a status as both a musical and visual attraction. It is as if the previously mentioned students of these schools had traveled to Jakarta, planting the seeds of this new wave of gamelan and its equipability with other art forms. Because let's be honest, if these animals were to perform these acts atop mainstream music, it wouldn't retain the same theater-esque characteristics that had been associated with Balinese gamelan since the 1960s. Topeng Monyet wouldn't work with pop music because it lacks the multidimensional decades of normalization that gamelan had received alongside such visuals. Finally, we must connect the dots between the deeply controversial politics of Topeng Monyet and how this has presented the street attractions to vast online audiences. According to Jalisa Castrodal's Vice article in 2013, Jakarta's Animal Aid Network has succeeded in its efforts to assist the national ban of Topeng Monyet that was instituted by Jakarta's former governor in specific areas and then nationally in 2019. They have since rehabilitated more than 220 former Topeng Monyet performers, successfully releasing them into the safe habitats designated by the government. However, these performances still pop up here and there. In reference to a Jakarta Post article by Swaragita, this resurgence of Topeng Monyet has even prompted authorities and local animal rights activists to intensify raids, which only showcases the severity of this issue. Without going into detail on the abuse of these animals, the climax point of discourse surrounding this topic came in the form of a viral video when one of the monkeys grabs hold of a baby as its owner yanks it down an alleyway. It has amassed over 40 million views since its upload on May 3rd, 2020. The Gamelan players can be heard in the background of the video, immortalized within this horrific yet viral instance of Topeng Monyet gone wrong. Topeng Monyet's unique adaptation of Gamelan emits cultural value within the Java soundscape that was done a disservice through its juxtaposition against a cruel practice. Ironically, this music couldn't be granted the same audience enhancement without its link to the dark politics of a trending yet traumatic video. Whether it be from the alleyways of Indonesian inner cities or the recommendations of social media sites, Topeng Monyet's controversial context allows for its musical aspects to attain greater exposure to a multitude of foreign audiences, which has led to the creation of this video essay that you are watching. Hopefully, the idiosyncrasies of the gamelan itself, along with its stripped-down and public setting, can be appreciated despite its connection to an underworld of documented abuse. Thank you.